Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And today, what I want to talk about is the New York Giants, like I usually do. But yeah, I want to again expand to different teams. I want to start talking about different teams. But I've been so into the Giants because I'm really fascinated about this team. It looks like we're really becoming a family. The rookies are starting to sign. Jabril Peppers looks good. So there's just a bunch of positive news coming out over the past couple of days. Marcus Golden is back, but he didn't sign his contract yet. But also he did. I'm not too sure what's going on with that. But yeah, let's get right into it. I'm talking about the 7 Giants guarantees for this season. These are 100% going to happen, and if not, I don't know. But what do you mean if not? They are going to happen. First, Saquon Barkley is going to get 2,222 plus yards. Why that number? Because it sounded good. I didn't want to do like 2,100. Then I was at like 2,200. I'm like, doesn't really sound right. He's going to 2,222 plus yards this year. Now, I think that we're going to use multiple sets. We're going to have a lot of yards on the, in this offense, unless, we play 12 games and maybe not. But I think that Saquon Barkley is going to be used in the backfield. Daniel Jones is going to be dumping the ball up to him, especially within the first couple of games as our offensive line gets into the swing of things. And yeah, so Saquon Barkley, when we're going to use, and I don't think we're going to use a lot of 11 personnel, more 22 personnel with 2 backs, and we're going to throw a lot of people off. We're going to have Saquon Barkley in space doing what he does well, stiff-arming people, juking, and overall just leaving people in the dust. So Saquon Barkley is going to have 2,222 plus yards, almost a franchise record. But the next one I have, the offensive line will be top half in the league. Now, it's going to struggle a little bit in the beginning as we get, a little bit of chemistry together. It doesn't matter whether Nate Solder is left or right tackle. I think we're going to be a top half offensive line as we, by the end of the year. And by the end of the year, we may even be a top 10 offensive line. Andrew Thomas, even, Matt Parrott. I wouldn't even mind if he gets some reps at the end of the season. Probably not. I mean, he still needs to do some developing. Kevin Zeitler, Will Hernandez. The center is a weak point, but I think we're going to be able to figure that out. Coach somebody up to be solid at that center position. I'm favoring right now with Spencer Pulley, but I wouldn't mind a Nick Gates at that spot. And yeah, so I think that we're going to have a pretty good offensive line, maybe even the best in this division. What? But anyway, so the third guarantee I have for the Giants is that we will not lose a game due to coaching. We're not going to be without timeouts with a minute left. We're not going to be in one of those situations. And if we lose a game, it's going to be because we sucked. Or, the other team was better. It's not going to be because our coaching let us down. The pressure is going to come to him. The coach is going to be trying to do 50 million things. So Joe Judge is going to learn how to call a game with clock management. Now, he may have 1 or 2 hiccups as you get used to the swing of things. But, we're not going to have a Matt Nagy thing where you don't want to run the ball and you decide to just kneel and let the kicker kick further field goal, not go for it. Because we have confidence in our players. We have confidence in their smarts. But the reason why we got a bunch of these players is because of their smarts. We got Darnay Holmes because he's just in the room just studying and willing to learn. We trust our players now not to make dumb mistakes, and our coaches trust them. So we're not going to have any of those decisions where it's just like, why don't we go for it at the end of the first half, and why do we kind of let them get into it in the second half? It's going to be kind of a relief this year. Okay, so number 4, I believe it is. I lost count already. We're going to have a top 5 run defense. Now, PFF has their defensive line ranked 27th. I believe that also includes passing, like pass rush. But are you kidding me? They had Dexter Lawrence rated as one of the top rookies. BJ Hill was like a 70-something. Leonard Williams is not a scrub. And you have us ranked 27? I mean, I understand our pass rush isn't great, but I think a lot of these players are going to be taking a step up in year 2 with more camaraderie, a new defensive scheme, but still, the teams are not going to be willing to run against us. I can tell you that much, especially with our linebackers and things like that. I think that we're going to have a really solid run defense, and that's going to have us make control of the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if the time of possession that it comes to our favor this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we have the ball more than the other team does, because we're going to be able to establish the run, and we're going to run defend real well. And that's how Dave Gettleman built this team. And I really like how this is shaping up. I'm really confident in that aspect in the Giants game. And I'm not sure about you, but I think we're going to be a top 5 defensive line this year, because we were already a top 10 one last year, and we're only returning and getting better. Next, tight ends will still be a problem, especially in defense. We're going to have a trouble covering a lot of those tight ends and, the Jason Wittens of the world, finding a pocket, as a lot of teams do, but we didn't really address that in the offseason. We believe Ryan Connolly can kind of be that guy. We believe Julian Love can almost kind of be that guy, but I think we're still going to struggle as far as that aspect. We're going to get, torn up by tight ends on the opposing teams. But you take a look at this division, formerly known as the Redskins, now the Washington football team. They don't really have good tight ends. I don't really believe in Blake Jarwin. And obviously the Eagles, it's kind of rough there. But the teams that we play against don't really have the best tight ends in the world either. So I don't trust, the Steelers tight ends, the Bears tight ends. 49ers, they don't really have a good tight end, do they? But I think you guys know what I mean. Like the 49ers, what do they have? A Greg Olsen that should have retired like 3 years ago. So I think we're not going to be that bad as far as that aspect goes, but I think tight ends will still be a problem and burning us. Next, Daniel Jones will throw at least 12 interceptions. I think that, he's going to have trouble with this offense because it's so new to him, because he hasn't really had a lot of live game reps, changing coverages and doing different things, putting himself in a position to succeed too. He's going to be thrown off by a lot of coverage looks. This division is used to Air Coryell, so there are going to be some looks that he's a little bit confused by, but it's all part of the growing pains for this team. Don't start getting mad if you see Daniel Jones with 3 interception games. Please don't. Don't start panicking, because we see even quarterbacks in year 2. They do take a step up, but they still have those flashes where they're bad. We're just looking for that top end things again. Daniel Jones, I believe he corrected a lot of things, but he had a lot of things that he needed to work on. He needed to work on ball drive in the rain. He needed to work on, a little bit of ball placement, fumbling, all those different issues. So don't be surprised if he throws another 12, maybe even 15 interceptions, but I'm going to be a little bit conservative. He's going to throw at least 12 and probably have at least 16 to 17 turnovers. Next, one of Carter Jimenez is not going to be good. Now, I'm starting to like Carter Coughlin a lot more. He denied Ohio State because he wanted to play at Minnesota. Probably didn't put himself in the best position to succeed as far as like a player. But Carter Coughlin, his downhill speed, I'm starting to really like him. He's a little bit of a Kyler Fackrell. I think if he can develop, that would be really great. I think he's going to be positional, just success. He's going to have his moments this year. He's going to have, 5 sacks or so. I may do a Giants stats preview, but I'm not too sure when or how, whatever, and who I'm going to do. But I think that should be interesting. But one of Carter Jimenez is not going to work out. We always have hope for these guys and hype for these guys, but if they weren't on our team and we're looking at them, I think we'd be, oh yeah, this guy sucks, But they've both shown flashes. We look at Oshane Ximines, we try to extrapolate his stats, but realistically, you think he's going to be a 10-sack guy this year? I'm not really that sure. They don't really have the dominant moves that you need in a pass rusher, and they don't have the top-end speed, but I think one of them is going to work out, and one of them we're going to be like, okay, let's move on from him, and that's okay. That's okay, because not every single player we can get is good, but eventually, I guess somebody has to be good. But hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Which things you have guaranteed for us this year? Let me know with a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.